I thought I knew how fast a Sherman tank could fire, until I read about the grocery clerk who made it shoot so fast that German tank crews thought they were facing an entire platoon. He did it with nothing more than chalk, common sense, and a complete disregard for the manual. It's 8:47 hours, June 14th, 1944. 3 miles west of Carentan in France, a Sherman tank sits motionless behind a collapsed stone barn. The engine ticks as it cools. Inside the turret, the air smells of burnt cordite and sweat. Through the commander's periscope, Corporal James Huitt can see the tree line about 240 yards out. Dark, still, and far too quiet. He doesn't know it yet, but in the next 8 minutes, his loader will do something so unorthodox, so completely against doctrine, that some commanders will call it reckless, others will call it brilliant, and eventually it will be studied in armored warfare courses for decades. The Germans are out there in the hedgerows, waiting, patient. Huitt's crew is about to face something no training manual prepared them for. No one expects them to survive the morning. Private First Class Danny Kowalski was not born a soldier. He was born a grocery clerk in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A skinny kid with fast hands and a head for organizing things. From age 12, his father put him to work in a small corner store in Polish Hill. Danny worked the register, stocked shelves, rotated inventory. He could spot an expired can from across the aisle. He could restock a shelf faster than anyone in the neighborhood. At basic training, the other men mocked him. They called him grocer. They laughed when he arranged his footlocker like a store display. Everything labeled, everything positioned for speed. His drill sergeant thought he was obsessive. His bunkmates thought he was strange. But when Danny volunteered for tank duty and was assigned as a loader, something clicked. The inside of a Sherman's turret was just another cramped stockroom. The ammo racks were shelves. The shells were products. And in combat, speed wasn't about raw strength. It was about economy of motion, knowing exactly where your hand needed to go without ever looking. War has a cruel way of turning odd civilian skills into lifelines. And Danny's quick, practiced grocery store hands are about to rewrite the manual on how fast a Sherman can kill. The hedgerow country of Normandy is a death trap for American armor. Every field is a potential kill zone, bordered by thick earth banks, crowned with ancient hedges and trees, blocking sight lines and choking movement. Each advance is a blind gamble. The Germans know this terrain intimately. They've fortified it, mined it, and positioned their Pak-40 anti-tank guns in defilade positions, tucked behind rises and hedges where they're nearly invisible until they fire. In the last 48 hours, the 2nd Armored Division has lost 17 tanks in this sector alone. Burning Shermans dot the landscape like funeral pyres. On paper, the Sherman 75mm gun can kill most German armor at medium range, but only if the crew lives long enough to fire first. German crews are faster, better trained, more experienced. The weather doesn't help. Morning fog clings to the low ground, cutting visibility below 200 yards. The earth is soft from 2 days of rain. Mud sucks at the tracks, slows traverse, makes repositioning sluggish and loud. Intelligence reports at least 2 Panzer IVs and multiple infantry positions in the woods ahead. The mission is simple on paper. Push through, secure the crossroads, support the infantry. In reality, nothing exposed in this landscape lives for long. But Huitt's crew has one advantage the Germans don't know about yet. Something so small, so seemingly insignificant that it went completely unnoticed at morning inspection. Danny Kowalski has rearranged the ammo. The German machine gun opens up first. A long burst slams into the Sherman's glacis plate, sparks ricocheting off the armor like angry hornets. Huitt's voice cracks over the intercom. "Gunner, tree line, 11 o'clock, 220 yards, infantry position behind logs." Sergeant Bill Marsh, the gunner, swings the turret left. The traverse motor whines. Through his sight, he finds the target, a dark horizontal shape, muzzle flashes winking like fireflies. Identified. Fire. The 75mm gun bucks. The breech slams backward with a metallic crash that rattles teeth. Smoke gushes into the turret. Through the haze, Marsh sees the hit, the log pile shattering, bodies tumbling. Before the smoke even begins to clear, Danny's hands are already moving. Most loaders just grab whatever shell they can reach, usually from a jumbled ready rack on the turret floor. A random mix of AP and HE. Danny does not. His left hand goes exactly 6 inches left, to a position he marked that morning with a faint chalk line. His fingers close on an HE round, exactly where he knew it would be. He spins it, rams it into the breech. The block slams shut with a clean, satisfying clack. Up, Marsh blinks. 3 seconds. The manual, the instructors, everyone says reloads under stress take 5 to 7 seconds. 10 if you're fumbling, exhausted or under fire. Danny just did it in 3. 3 seconds, Marsh mutters. No time to think about it. Target, second position, 10 o'clock, 180 yards. The gun barks again. Danny is already reaching for the next round. The Germans did not expect a second shot this fast. A Pak 40 crew is in the middle of shifting their gun when the HE round detonates 8 feet from their position, shredding the gun shield and throwing men backwards. Huitt sees more movement, infantry scrambling through the hedgerow, trying to flank left. Gunner, hedge, 9 o'clock, 150 yards. Troops in the open. Marsh traverses, fires canister. The round bursts, turning 30 yards of hedgerow into a storm of steel balls. Men caught in the open simply disappear. Up. Danny's voice is steady, almost calm. 2.5 seconds. The rhythm is building now. Identify, traverse, fire, reload. And it's not just speed. During the long, quiet, anxious hours before dawn, Danny did something no one in any manual had ever suggested. He reorganized the entire ammunition storage by sequence of likely use. HE rounds on the left side of the ready rack, exactly where his left hand falls when the breech throws open. Armor-piercing rounds staggered on the right, matched to his right-hand reach. Canister rounds in the sponson rack, marked with tape, angled for a blind grab without looking. Every motion is economical. No wasted movement, no searching, no hesitation. The 4th kill comes at 8:51. A German half-track tries to sprint across open ground. An AP round punches through the engine block. The vehicle lurches, rolls, stops. Dismounting figures are cut down by the coaxial machine gun, but the enemy is learning. Return fire intensifies. A Panzerfaust rocket screams past the turret, missing by inches. A column of mud erupts on the left, near miss from a mortar. Shrapnel patters against the armor. Huitt orders the driver to reverse 20 yards, tucking them tighter behind the heavier part of the barn wall. The fog is lifting. That's bad. Better sight lines for them, and for the enemy. Then Marsh sees it. Contact right, Panzer IV, hull down, 280 yards. Marsh's stomach tightens. At that range, a Panzer IV can punch straight through a Sherman's front. The German gun is already traversing toward them. It's a race now. Whoever fires first lives. Gunner AP, track junction. Marsh finds the target, the Panzer's lower hull just visible above a dirt berm. Tiny target, hard shot. Danny's hand is already moving to the AP side of the rack. He knows what Huitt is going to call before the order finishes. A P round up. Slide, ram, clack. Up. Marsh fires. The shot strikes low but perfect, right at the track. Metal explodes. Links fly. The Panzer slews sideways, immobilized, its gun swinging wildly off target. Hit, reload, finish him. Another AP round. Danny doesn't even look at the rack. His hand just knows. Up. The second round drills into the turret ring. Smoke pours from the German hatches. 5 kills in 4 minutes. But the Germans aren't done. A second Panzer appears at the tree line, moving, its turret already aligned. This time the first shot comes before Huitt can even give a full order. The round slams into the Sherman's right track assembly. The tank lurches violently. Inside, the crew is thrown against their stations. Huitt's head smashes against the periscope mount. Blood runs down his temple. We're tracked. Driver, rock us. Give Marsh an angle. The driver guns the engine, spinning the left track, pivoting the crippled Sherman in place. Slowly, too slowly. The German tank is reloading. Marsh cranks the turret right. The Panzer fills his scope, 240 yards, moving slightly, hull down. Steady, steady. Danny already has another AP round halfway to the breach, waiting for the empty chamber to present itself. The Panzer fires. The round screams in, hits the turret's side armor at a shallow angle, gouges steel and ricochets off into the sky. No penetration. Luck, pure luck. Fire. Marsh squeezes the trigger. The American round slams into the Panzer's driver's visor. The tank jerks to a halt. Flame blooms from within. 6 kills. Danny's hands are starting to shake now. Not from fear, but from sheer kinetic repetition. Grab, spin, load, grab, spin, load. The turret is a furnace. The gun's heat has driven the internal temperature above 110 degrees. Sweat pours into his eyes, but he doesn't stop. Movement, infantry, multiple contacts, 100 yards, pushing through the smoke. HE rounds now, 3 in succession. Danny grabs them without looking, muscle memory fully in control. Each shot brackets the advancing Germans, forcing them back, breaking their assault. Huitt checks the ammo count. We're down to 60%. Watch your calls. But the Germans aren't done. They're regrouping. Out there, behind that tree line, someone smart has watched 2 Panzers die and is planning something different. Then everything goes wrong. Danny reaches for the next AP round, right side of the ready rack, and his hand closes on empty air. He blinks, looks down. The rack is bare. He's burned through the ready AP faster than he realized. The remaining AP rounds sit in the hull sponson racks, low, awkward positions below the turret basket, designed for storage, not speed. To get to them, he has to crouch, reach down blind, drag rounds out by feel. His stomach drops. Up, he calls automatically, buying a second or two. But there's no shell in the gun. Marsh glances back, sees Danny's face, understands immediately. We're out of ready AP. He has to reload from the sponsons. Huitt's voice stays level, but there's an edge. How long? 8 seconds, maybe 10. 8 seconds is an eternity in a tank duel. Plenty of time for a German crew to fire twice, and something armored is appearing. Through the thinning fog, a third Panzer IV noses forward. Ambush camouflage, moving slowly, commander in the cupola scanning for targets. Contact, Panzer dead ahead, 200 yards. Danny is already dropping to his knees, reaching into the sponson racks, fingers searching for the AP rounds he stacked earlier. He finds one, hauls it up. The shell feels heavier from this angle, awkward. He twists, rams it home. Up! 7 seconds. Marsh fires. The shot goes wide, glancing off a fender. The Panzer stops. Its gun settles, tracking toward them, deliberate, patient, professional. Danny dives for another AP, no more thinking, just motion. Right hand finds the next round, yanks it free, loads. Up. This time, Marsh's shot slams into the turret front. The Panzer rings like a struck bell, then goes still. Target left infantry, 80 yards. Danny's hand switches without thinking. Down for HE now, dragging rounds up from the sponsons, loading on instinct alone. The gun roars, figures scatter, another round. More Germans break. A Kubelwagen tries to flee across a field. A P, then nothing but shredded metal. Movement, right flank, 120 yards, HE up, fire. Danny's world narrows to one loop, grab, spin, load, grab, spin, load. His arms burn, his back screams. His breath comes in short gasps, but the kills keep coming. 10, 11, 12. The tree line is finally thinning. The Germans are pulling back, breaking contact at last. Smoke hangs over the field like a shroud. Burning vehicles, scattered equipment, bodies. The Sherman's barrel glows dull red at the muzzle. Cease fire, cease fire. Contact broken. Huitt's voice cuts through, sharp. Danny slumps against the turret wall, chest heaving. His arms feel like lead, but it still isn't over. 30 seconds of silence. Then Huitt again, quieter this time. Something's wrong. They pulled back too clean, too organized. Marsh scans the tree line through his sight. Nothing moves, no muzzle flashes, no engines, just smoke and stillness. Maybe they're done, Danny whispers. No, Huitt says, voice cold. Someone smart is out there, watching us, waiting for us to move. And he's right. About 340 yards out, concealed in a drainage ditch behind the burned-out Kubelwagen, a German tank commander named Oberleutnant Ritter lies perfectly still. He's watched the entire engagement through binoculars, watched a single American Sherman tear through his unit with impossible speed, watched multiple Panzers and infantry positions die, counted each shot, estimated their ammo. He is certain. The Americans must be low. His own Panzer IV sits 60 yards behind him, hull down in a depression, engine idling low. His crew knows the drill. Patience. Let the enemy think it's over. Let them relax. Let them move first, then kill them. Inside the Sherman, Huitt makes his call. Driver, back us up slow, 10 yards. Get us behind that barn wall. The engine revs. The left track spins. The crippled Sherman begins to pivot. Out in the ditch, Ritter smiles. Gunner, target, range 340. Lead him. The Panzer's gun tracks slowly, precisely. Huitt catches a glint of movement in his periscope, a flash of glass where no glass should be. His blood runs cold. Contact. Panzer, concealed, 340. Traverse right. Marsh swings the turret, but sees only smoke and wreckage. I don't see him. Ditch behind the wreck. Danny hauls another AP round from the sponson. His arms are jelly now. The shell slips. He catches it, jams it in. Up. 4 seconds. Too slow. Both guns fire almost simultaneously. The German round hits first. It slams into the Sherman's upper glacis at a shallow angle, skids upward, and shrieks over the turret by inches. The tank rocks violently. Huitt's helmet cracks against the hatch rim. Marsh's round hits low, punching into the berm in front of Ritter's Panzer, showering it with dirt and debris, but not penetrating. Reload. Danny drags another AP round up from below. His hands are cramping. The shell feels twice as heavy. He muscles it into the breech. Up. The German tank is reversing, trying to back into deeper cover. Ritter knows he's missed his best shot. Fire. Marsh leads the target, aims not where the Panzer is, but where it will be in 2 seconds. He squeezes. The round catches the German tank mid-reverse, drills through the thinner side armor, and detonates in the engine compartment. Flames erupt. The Panzer jerks to a halt. 3 figures bail out, uniforms smoking. Ritter is one of them. Marsh tracks them with the coaxial machine gun. His finger tightens on the trigger. "Let them go," Huitt says quietly. The Germans disappear into the trees. This time, the silence that follows is real. Danny slides down the turret wall. His hands are bleeding now, nicked by sharp brass rims and metal edges. He hadn't even noticed. 13 kills. 1 damaged Sherman. 0 casualties. Huitt keys the radio. "Ironside 6, this is Ironside 2-2. Contact broken. Position secure. Requesting recovery for track repair. Over." The reply crackles back. "Copy 2-2. Recovery en route. What's your status?" Huitt looks at his men, looks at Danny, still shaking, looks at the gun, still smoking. Operational. Only then does Danny let his head fall. The adrenaline drains away, leaving limp exhaustion. The turret reeks of burnt powder, hot metal, sweat. Spent shell cases carpet the floor. Without thinking, Danny counts them. 37 rounds in just under 12 minutes. Marsh cracks the loader's hatch. Cool, clean air pours in. Danny gulps it like water. "You okay?" Marsh asks. Danny nods, still unable to speak. 40 minutes later, the recovery vehicle arrives. A maintenance sergeant climbs up, inspects the ruined track, whistles. "You boys got lucky. Another inch in, and you'd have lost the whole drive sprocket." An hour after the battle, Captain Brenner, the company commander, appears. He walks the field with Huitt. 3 Panzers, 2 half-tracks, 1 Kübelwagen, multiple infantry positions smashed. He climbs onto the Sherman's hull, looks down through the open hatch at Danny. "You the loader?" "Yes, sir." "How many rounds did you put through this gun?" 37, sir." Brenner checks his watch, does the math. His eyebrows rise. That's not possible. The manual says." Huitt cuts in, voice quiet but firm. "I know what the manual says, sir. He rearranged the ammo racks by hand this morning, without asking permission." Brenner stares at Danny for a long moment. Then he smiles. "Show me." What Danny Kowalski did that morning near Carentan changed American armor doctrine. Within 3 weeks, his stupid ammo layout was being tested at the Ordnance Department's proving grounds at Aberdeen. Within 6 months, it was official procedure, taught to loaders at tank schools from Fort Knox to Fort Benning. They called it the Kowalski load, though Danny himself never liked the name. Reorganizing ammunition by mission probability and hand path efficiency reduced average reload times from about 6.2 seconds to 3.8 seconds across the armored force. 2.5 seconds faster. That doesn't sound like much, but in tank combat, 2 seconds is the difference between firing first and dying first. Between 13 kills and becoming kill number 14. Modern armor crews still train using variations of his technique. The principle remains the same: economy of motion, predictive positioning, muscle memory over conscious thought. Danny survived the war. He made it through France, Belgium, and into Germany. He was awarded the Silver Star for his actions near Carentan, though he rarely wore it. After the war, he went back to Pittsburgh, reopened his father's grocery store, raised 3 kids. He didn't talk much about what happened in that tank. But sometimes, late at night, his hands would move in his sleep, reaching, grabbing, loading shells that weren't there anymore. History remembered what he did, even if he tried to forget. The Sherman that carried him through that morning, hull number 2031-489, sits today in the National Armor and Cavalry Museum at Fort Moore, Georgia. The turret still bears scorch marks. The ammo racks still show faint chalk lines where a grocery clerk mapped his hand paths. And every loader who walks past it knows the name Kowalski. If you enjoyed this story of how one nobody loader quietly rewrote the rules of armored warfare, make sure you subscribe to Last Stand History for more forgotten battles, obscure innovations, and the ordinary people who changed the course of war. Leave a comment if you'd like to see more stories from inside the turret, and tell us what you think. Was the Kowalski load genius, recklessness, or both?